moment, I'm going to invite Madam Eunice Mwangi from RCMRD to talk to us about climate change projects in Africa. And I'd like to implore all our esteemed speakers for this session to kindly try to wrap it up within the 10 minutes so that we do not lose time. Thank you very much. Madam Eunice Mwangi, the floor is yours. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon, good morning. My name is Eunice Mwangi. I'm a climate scientist from RCMRD in Nairobi, Kenya. And I'm very passionate about driving the agenda of the youth and young people in developing innovative solutions for climate justice. So I'm going to do my presentation on climate action projects that RCMRD has been presenting in the region to broadly inspire the young minds, but also to just show opportunities for collaborations with partners also from the West Africa. So just give me a moment. I just want to share my screen. So thank you very much. I'm going to begin. And let me begin by mentioning that RCMRD is very keen on driving the agenda of climate change in Eastern and Southern Africa region. We have 20 member states from Eastern and Southern Africa region that are the contracting members of the regional center and are from where we are able to implement our climate action projects. As far as climate change is concerned, you realize that it's a very interconnected and intersectoral issue that revolves around 5 key thematic areas. RCMRD, in support of the Sustainable Development Goals and the African Union Agenda 2063, has managed to address climate action initiatives that cut across agriculture. And when we talk about agriculture, we simply talk about from the level of production to the level of consumption of food and the practices that farmers are engaging in and other stakeholders driven by climate that are influencing the food security. The other area that is very key to climate action is land administration and management. Because as we talk about climate justice, it's very, very significant to be able to understand ways and means in which land is owned, parcels of land are administered. And to this end, RCMRD has been supporting member states to be able to develop an integrated land information management system that can be able to support the monitoring of the activities that are driving climate-related challenges. The other critical area when we talk about the climate related issues is water and water related disasters. As you are aware, Nairobi, Eastern Africa region has recently faced floods, which again has been a wake-up call to not just the science community, but also to the policy maker towards how are we making use of artificial intelligence, satellite information, climate monitoring technology to be able to monitor and predict, especially the element of predicting some of these water-related disasters. And to this end, RCMRD has been very keen to lead in initiatives that are supporting water-related disasters, alongside with weather and an integrated knowledge management system. One of the key projects or initiative that is so much linked to climate action that is being implemented continentally, and RCMRD is driving this agenda, is the GMES and Africa project that is continental in nature, and it basically talks about global monitoring for environment and security in Africa. RCMRD has been addressing climate-related matters through 3 service areas, namely land degradation monitoring, wetlands monitoring, and open geographical regional reference framework. And what is very critical about this particular intervention is the focus on the user uptake, how we are able to engage with policymakers so that the information products that we are developing are able to influence policy and political decision related to land management and wetland resources. And this is an initiative that we are implementing in 14 countries within the Eastern and Southern Africa region.
Sorry, your slides are not moving.
Oh, sorry. Oh, okay. Let me just correct that so that are you able to see the slides?
We were seeing them, but we can't
they were not. Yeah.
How about now?
Not yet.
Okay, let me just I'm going to let me just share again and see whether I'll have a better experience.
We see them now, but can you just put them on presentation mode? I think that way we can always see what you're seeing. So.
Okay. What's the experience now? Are you seeing in presentation mode?
No.
Not yet.
Okay. But right now, if I scroll, are you able to see? Maybe it's a technical hitch. I'll be able to correct.
Now we can see the slides.
We are not seeing your screen at the moment.
Okay, fine. Thank you. Let me just continue this way as I try to figure out the technical problem. So I was just mentioning what we are doing in terms of climate action initiatives in the region, mainly Eastern and Southern Africa region. And I'm already going into the specific initiatives that we are implementing continentally in support of climate action agenda. I'll continue with the other key project that is being financed by the CLARE, Climate Adaptation and Resilience. And this is a very interesting program because it deals with a vulnerable community that resides in the Greater Horn of Africa region. And they're the pastoralist communities that inhabit Kenya, Uganda, South Sudan, Ethiopia, and Somalia. RCMRD has been developing risk assessment maps and also come up with anticipatory action, climate change anticipatory action measures that can be able to deal with drought and disasters in the rangeland ecosystem of the pastoralist belt. And to this end, we have managed to develop information services related to invasive species mapping, land cover change, and also an information service on surface water assessment, which is very significant because the challenge that this arid and semi-arid ecosystem faces is the fact that right now the country is experiencing floods, but as soon as the floods are over, we'll go into a season of drought. And a season of drought is even more catastrophic. So through this particular pastoralist resource management project, we are able to map where do we have ephemeral water bodies that can be able to support the pastoralist communities during the dry season. The other continental initiative that we are implementing in Africa is the Soils for Africa initiative, which aims to develop an open access soil information system. This is very critical in terms of trying to understand the influence of the soil ecosystem, agriculture development in influencing climate-related decisions. We are currently developing the soil information system. We have just finished collecting continental soil samples on soil, and right now we want to transfer that information to an online soil information system that will be accessible to the general public to be able to make very significant soil management information practices. The other key project that we are implementing is the GEO, Land Degradation Neutrality Initiative, where we have teamed up with GIZ, we've teamed up with other practitioners to be able to develop a support system, a regional help desk for the Eastern and Southern Africa region that can support member states towards the achievement of Sustainable Goal 15.3, but also monitor the 3 indicators of land degradation neutrality as defined by the UNCCD. And that is the land productivity, land cover, and the soil organic carbon. Regional food balance sheet is another continental initiative. We have started with a pilot study in Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda, Tanzania, Malawi, and Zambia, where the aim really is to strengthen agri-food data systems and develop an integrated dashboard that is going to help the stakeholders dealing with food security to be able to monitor crop production, acreage, and basically be able to identify opportunities for food crop demand and also supply. So this again is going to inform a lot of the food trade that happens within the countries and also cross-border trade in food communities. The other initiative is the biodiversity, where the institution has launched RCMRD has been identified as a regional center of excellence for biodiversity, forest, and seascape. Another critical initiative with financing from the European Union that covers 24 countries. So again, this is going to be an integrated dashboard providing very critical climate information related to biodiversity, forest, and seascape. And this initiative is going on for the next 4 years. And we have, again, a hazard atlas map that is mainly monitoring hazards that are occurring within the countries at a national and subnational scale. And again, this is towards establishing a national support system for disaster risk reduction. Then the Digital Earth Africa is another initiative which we have teamed up with the Australian Geoscience Australia to be able to develop and monitor the coastal ecosystems and also the wetland assessment and monitoring. So we've been doing this in the East Coast, the African East Coast, and we are extending this also to the island countries. In terms of placing the youth at the center of climate action, RCMRD is engaged in the RCMRD International Conference and the RCMRD Space Challenge program that are meant to mentor young people to come up with innovative strategies that can be able to address the gaps in climate action. So these are just opportunities for young people to share and brainstorm on ideas that can be able to shape the future of climate change. And at this point, allow me to also welcome the students from Ghana who are interested in participating in these mentorship events to follow our links and our pages to learn more about how they can be able to contribute to the Space Challenge, to the RCMRD International Conference, and also the mentorship program at RCMRD. Our partners have enabled us to be able to achieve our goals, and we have the AfriGeo Secretariat, we have IUCN, and the GIZ. So these are our links that I'm sharing. I hope they can be able to inform the work that is being done by the Ghana team. And we are very appreciative to Amos and the entire coordinating team for looping us in this particular great workshop that really puts a lot of emphasis on strengthening young people's voices in climate justice. Thank you so much. Over.
Thank you very much, Madam Eunice, for that insightful perspective from you. Ladies